How do you market to engineers? You mentioned, you don't want to piss them off. Like it seems like something that's worth protecting. And there's that constant balance between sales reps saying, hey, I want to go talk to these developers because I want to sell them something versus like, I just want to go educate them. How do you balance all that stuff? Because add this in just as context, there's been more and more talk online I've noticed around DevRel being like too corporate now. It's like they're just salespeople in disguise. So how do you protect that and keep it wholesome and like real while you're trying to grow a business?
Yeah, so that I think is definitely something that is now being challenged today, especially with the pressure of revenue and the
Yeah.
movement of DevRel teams kind of moving in different areas of an organization. You see kind of DevRel sometimes starting in engineering, then moving into marketing, and then moving underneath kind of sales, and
Yeah.
sometimes moving underneath sales engineering. So it's pretty interesting kind of to see kind of how this is all kind of being kind of spun around. I think when it comes to marketing something for developers, you have to let them have access to and be able to try and not put a bunch of gates in front of them. It's like
Yeah.
the whole purpose of somebody coming to Elasticsearch to go spin up an Elasticsearch cluster is because they have a business problem that they're trying to solve, or they have an app that they're trying to build. They need to be educated around everything else around that, including the other open source components that connect to Elasticsearch, but also the commercial offerings that exist around that. So I think it's about kind of giving them that complete picture of everything
Yeah.
that they need to do, and doing it in a way that allows them to self-educate, self-discover, allows them to kind of try it themselves. Of course, there needs to be a lot of enablement with the sales team and a fantastic partnership with the SDR and the sales team. And John Black, who's running the SDR team, was incredible at really kind of managing that process and really trying to facilitate and really level up the game of every SDR so that the SDR could be helpful to a developer, helpful to somebody who was a potential kind of buyer within the enterprise, but they didn't want to be sold to. And I think they
Yeah.
did a pretty good job, especially in the early days of teaching SDRs how to run that motion. And then you have the sales team. They, with the help of the SC teams, Chad, you and Steve and your teams, you're there to show them the art of the possible. You're there to
Yeah.
show them like, here's everything that you can use in your arsenal to kind of build productionize this application at scale. And I think it involves marketing, really having a close partnership with the SDR org, with the sales org, with the product team, with engineering. I've always talked about this, and around marketing just can't be this island that we're doing a bunch of kind of siphon projects over here. We need to be really integrated into the whole flow of things, because at the end of the day, you're looking at everything that's coming through the website. You're looking at everything that's coming off of kind of our downloads area. Then
Yeah.
eventually when we launched the cloud product, you're now looking at, okay, what are the behaviors within the cloud? You're kind of feeding in all of this kind of content and kind of how-to type of materials in order to hopefully kind of best codify this journey in a way that gets people to opt in. People should feel that they want to opt in. They want to actually engage and take that next step, because they've already done all the self-education and they're already sold on the company. They're sold on the technology.
Yeah.
Now is that point of time where it's about that relationship. Now they need to be sold on this. Is this a long-term partner for us? Do I trust these people? Do I like these people? Do I,
Yeah.
believe in the roadmap? Of course, every software company doesn't have every feature that they need, but can they get a good sense that these are things that are going to be able to be put on the roadmap, or maybe they are on the roadmap? So that's
Yeah.
where that relationship comes into play. And I think, Aaron and Justin and you, Steve and Chad, you guys did a fantastic job of really nurturing these customers. And then the SDR org did a fantastic job of really taking people through the early phases of giving them guidance and educational materials, and not selling to them. And then hopefully on the marketing side, we did a decent job at being able to push all this content around to different places and hopefully make it useful for people.